packed house post lunch. This is crazy.
Yeah, you guys sure you're in the right room?
Yeah, this isn't Internet of Dongs yet. That's next.
All right, so pretty much you guys want to make sure that you put on your ski masks and your balaclavas because we're going to teach you how to be cyber criminals. So a little bit about us, a very little bit about us. Johnny is a guy. He does some things. I'm also a guy, and I also do other things.
I've been doing things for about 40 years, in and outside of the InfoSec industry, and Ben is coming up on that. He's a little better at doing things, but
well, other things.
Other things. So we got a good spread of experience here.
So when we say dark web, like what is that, right? So the media uses all of these terms interchangeably. Dark web, dark net, deep web, deep net, deep, dark,
dark, deep dark, derp, derp.
They took our derbs. Okay. So this is actually, I found this graphic, and it is the best visual explanation I have ever seen for this. So essentially what we're looking at is the dark web. When we say dark web, that is what's sitting on a dark net. A dark net is an overlay network typically that sits on top of the regular internet. And that would be something like Tor or I2P, or there's a couple other ones. There's one in Japan now, Seppuku Net. Yes, I can barely say it.
So basically just the same way that the World Wide Web sits on top of the internet being things besides web servers, being your mail servers, your routers, etc. And then you've got the World Wide Web inside of that. There's a dark net of infrastructure, and then a dark web that's web servers inside that infrastructure. But they all still sit on top of the internet infrastructure because everything does.
Yeah, and the media likes to portray it as like this secret network, like that is parallel to or next to the internet. It's like, no, it's on top of it.
Still uses the same infrastructure. It has to. Unless somebody's running their own fiber under the ocean.
Well, I mean,
anybody?
I could see mesh nets doing that in the future, but not yet.
They wouldn't be this big.
No. So we're going
to get right into it.
First, talk about money laundering. That'll be fun.
The first thing you need to do when doing anything on the dark web.
Yeah, no, really. I mean, don't, because then you'll get caught by.
Oh yeah, pro tip: don't, don't do anything on the dark web.
So Eastern Europe, like they love to still use things like Perfect Money, Web Money, OKPay, Payza, stuff like that. But increasingly, the currency of the transactions and underground economies on the dark web is cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is huge, of course. Monero is just blowing up. And there's a lot of hype over Zcash because of their zero-proof protocols that they have in place for anonymity.
Yeah, anonymity. It has words like zero-proof, like you know.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, we promise you're anonymous.
But those aren't the only ways that you could pay for stuff. Of course, you can use like some people will take like gift cards, or nobody will take direct PayPal transactions. And there's unless it's a hacked PayPal account.
Right. Don't use your PayPal. Use an account that you have permission to use. Or
there's a couple other choices.
Yeah.
There are a lot of cryptocurrencies. Like there's even Kanye coin, which is pretty amazing.
Which he was very upset about.
Yeah, he was angry.
He was angry there was a Kanye coin.
His face was on a coin. Why is he angry? He loves himself.
Yeah. Thomas Jefferson. Not angry.
But Hamilton would be though, because the whole Fed thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in Canada. Nobody gets.
Oh right.
Forefather jokes.
American forefather jokes. So if you're going to be using these cryptocurrencies, you're also going to want to put some obfuscation into what you're doing with them, because, well, the ledger is very, very public, and anybody can see whatever transactions you're making. And so what you want to do is mix your transactions with a whole bunch of other people's to make it really, really difficult to trace. But somebody later today is going to do a Bitcoin tracing talk, and I'm really excited about that. So essentially, the way a tumbling service works, or a mixing service, is you take your bitcoins and you put it into the tumbling service. They have some bitcoins in reserve, and then some other people's coins that are also using the tumbling service are there. They're all mixed up. There's a whole bunch of different series of wallets created, and the coins are shunted into those wallets. And then you get at your new wallet your bitcoins that were tumbled minus the transaction fee or the
So
service fee.
basically, it's like they take a bunch of coins and put them in a bunch of different piggy banks, shake each piggy bank up, and then put all the piggy banks in a bag and shake that up, and then pull one out, and then pull some bitcoins out of that piggy bank and hand them back to you. And so nobody can really figure out where those bitcoins you have came from now. It's just crazy complex.
Unless you're a statistician, then you can probably figure it out. So the next topic. Everybody has Lux Eterna playing in their head from Requiem for a Dream, right? Drugs. So when you're gonna buy drugs on the darknet, or on a darknet or the dark web, you can go to each one of the individual over 30 markets and search for what you want.
But don't.
Yeah. Also, American Feds, great job on taking down Silk Road. That definitely fixed the problem.
Yeah. I don't know where to buy drugs aside from these 30 places, but other than that, I'm out of luck.
So in terms of like volume and traffic and transactions, Alpha Bay Market, Outlaw Market, which is the oldest, Handsome Market, and Dream Market are going to be the top four. DHL, Dark Heroes League. I don't know. It sounds like
It's not the DHL you think it is.
Yeah, and
they will ship you things all day.
I guess the people that run Apple Market are just like really not afraid of getting a cease and desist from that fruit company in California. But also the Real Deal Market. There's a little Apple there. Oh, if you want 0 days or dumps from like massive attacks or from hospitals, the Real Deal Market, that's where you get it.
And we'll have all these slides up
Yeah.
for you guys.
So instead of going to each one of those,
there's a lot of text.
You could just go to Graham's search engine, which is great because it takes a bunch of the top markets and it searches all of them for you without you having to create accounts in each one and go in and look for what you're looking for. So it's sort of like a dog pile for drugs. So,
that's a good sentence.
Yeah.
Dog pile for drugs.
I'd go to that party.
Yeah. And so like what you have here is just searching for sour diesel, some popular marijuana in the States, medical marijuana. And what is really surprising, and I'll read this to you because I know it's a lot of text. What I like is the description, blah, blah, blah. This fast-acting strain delivers energizing, dreamy cerebral effects that have pushed sour diesel to its legendary status. Stress, pain, and depression fade away in long-lasting relief that makes sour diesel a top choice amongst medical patients. Like, that is a legitimate marketing statement. This isn't like, yo, dog, I got your hookup. What you need. This is like legitimate. I want this. I don't even have half those problems, and I'm like, that sounds amazing. So like, and it's because all these marketplaces and all the people who sell the marketplaces are all competing. And so not only do you have legitimate, lengthy descriptions of everything, you've got ratings, seller ratings, and rankings. You've got complaint departments.
The vendor name is a link because you can actually click on that and see what their past ratings from other customers are.
Yeah, and we'll get more into that later.
Yeah. Also, the location is important for a lot of people because they don't want to be dealing with international customs.
Turn his mic up.
All right, so location is really important to a lot of people that are buying because they don't want to have to deal with international customs. So if they're shipping within the country, there's usually less chance of it getting seized.
Also, I like to use grams because it makes me think of grandma. It's like, let me ask grandma for some pot.
All right, so what other drugs can you get on these markets? So you get your staples, that your neighborhood plug would have in their inventory typically. Weed, molly, hash, blow, acid, special K, crack, ice, opiate pain meds, unfortunately, and research chemicals. Oh my God, don't do those. We have no idea what they do to you. And so like I really like some of the marketing they do. Like for the acid, the strips that they have are like amazing. They have ones that have Trump doing his wrong face. They have like, of course, SpongeBob. They have all kinds of amazing ones.
It's a weird, wacky place. Everybody there has a bizarre sense of humor, and they're selling the most illegal stuff on earth.
So there are some other things that you can definitely get there that aren't going to be in the typical inventory of like a street dealer. Things like lab equipment for producing drugs, precursors, things like that. Military enhancement drugs, sure. Non-mainstream medicinal herbs for all your
Non-mainstream medicinal needs.
yeah. No, I didn't want to say the words homeopathic and medicinal in the same sentence. So
That's valid. Yeah. Non-mainstream medicinal. That's a good PC term for homeopathic.
also, devil's breath is really interesting. So this powder is used in South and Central America to rob and kidnap people, typically. I mean, you can take it.
So
as a
everybody
drug,
knows
but,
this one here.
but yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's basically it's rupees. It's
Yeah.
a type of
But really, really strong.
yeah.
Like fentanyl is to other opiates.
Right. Devil's breath. You wake up in Singapore.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you wake up.
Yeah. You're on your like third owner.
And not in an ice bath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also you could just buy like real poison.
Oh yeah. Ricin, Breaking Bad, Ricin. Untraceable poison. Here you go. I like the reviews they have here. Like when like somebody posts like a complaint or a notice, like prosecutor says the ricin vendor is convicted of theft and distribution, possibly extortion, which in normal cases would make you be like, oh, I don't want to deal with this person. But here that's like, oh, they're legit. This is the guy I want. Yeah, it's real ricin. Cool. Shut up and take my money.
Like he delivered.
Yeah, he delivered, man. He got busted for it.
On the possibly extortion charge, what that is this vendor was threatening to dox or out some people that were buying other things from him if they didn't pay up. So he was blackmailing them, essentially, extorting them. And so that's actually something that happens a lot on these markets is when a vendor wants something from somebody or wants to not give up a product or wants extra money, then they already have the shipping information and the name that it's being shipped to, and they can extort their buyers using that. They also keep it as a playbook a lot of times. Like if they get popped by the police, they'll say, hey, if you reduce my sentence, I'll give you the names of all these people and their addresses that bought from me so you can go investigate them. So don't buy stuff.
Don't buy stuff on the dark web.
So in that same vein, what's horrible about buying these drugs and physical items is that you're providing a physical location for the stuff to be shipped to. So you have to worry about the doxing, but also controlled delivery by the feds or somebody else who knows that this is going down and wants to take it from you. And when somebody says, I have 100% stealth shipping, that's complete horseshit.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as 100%.
That's the same as trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Or hold my beer.
I did like that this made the news because like we've been shipping marijuana since like the 60s, but the news is like all up in arms about like a couple of pounds of it, like 5-6 pounds.
But darknet.
But because it was like the dark web, the deep dark, oh man, we uncovered this deep dark web scam where they ship marijuana. Me too.
But
the old Mitch Hedberg joke. I really like the FedEx man because he's a really good pot dealer and doesn't know it. Or in this case, the United States Postal Service.
Yeah. Which actually, a lot of people say definitely use USPS. Don't go with FedEx or DHL or anything like that because you have a much greater chance of USPS actually delivering it. That being said, recently, like within the past few days, there's been a huge series of global busts. And one of the things that they were doing in the U.S. is ICE was going. What is that? Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Yeah.
In the U.S. We're actually going to different major mail hubs and just opening mail that they suspected might have drugs in it, and then they
just
use that.
busting in with knives. And
Yeah.
no. Oh well.
Which, from a privacy standpoint, is terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Government. They're protecting us.
right.
With knives.
Think of the children. Guns. So there's been a lot of media hype about buying guns on the dark web, and oh my God, terrorists and school shootings, and this is what's going on. So yeah, you can definitely buy guns. There are places to get them. They're not stupid expensive, but there's a lot of scamming.
You can also buy guns.
Yeah. There's a lot of fake guns. Yeah.
A lot of fake guns, a lot of counterfeit, a lot of just doesn't work.
Yeah, this is a cheap replica. It's gonna blow up in your hand, so have fun.
You're gonna buy a deadly firearm that
is essentially a zip gun.
Yeah, it's like somebody built it. Zip guns.
But only
it's a Glock.
Yeah. There's not only a lot of scamming, but there's also a lot of sting operations going on right now, where law enforcement from different countries will pose as a seller to try and get people to try and buy these guns and then pop them.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that nobody gets is like, as easy as it is for Ben and I to get on the dark web and buy guns and sell guns, it's just as easy for law enforcement to do the same. Like, there's nothing stopping law enforcement from hanging out here and doing sting operations. Like, they're there. They're everywhere. The dark web, it's like when you think like, oh, IRC is the place to have secret communications because the feds forgot it existed. No. They're also here. Some of these sellers are federal agents or whatever they call them up here, RCMP. Not
Mounties.
sure who deals with that. The Mounties. on the deep dark, selling you Glocks.
I wonder if they're like on a horse while they're using the computer.
I imagine so. I think required. Are they allowed to dismount at any point during their... They're on duty. They're on that horse. On the computer.
And there have actually been a lot of recent arrests, and people swooping in and catching both buyers and sellers of these weapons. And really, considering how easy it is to get weapons, like physically, in a lot of places around the world, especially America, it's just not worth it for a lot of vendors to try and sell through the complication that is the dark web and dealing with shipping and all of that, when there's a lot of legal channels for gun ownership that would take a buyer less time than dealing with this as well.
Yeah, the risk is extremely high if you're buying or selling guns on the dark web. This is one of like the most monitored markets of the dark web, is weapons dealing.
Yeah, because of the war on terror.
Yeah,
this is a huge focus.
We're winning though. We're winning the war on terror.
Just like we won the war on drugs and the war on poverty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they're stuck in the deep dark. Like, we got them here. They're cornered. We almost beat them. Notice that allegedly, remember the big Paris attacks? They were claiming all the weapons were bought on the deep dark,
which still hasn't been proven.
Right. They're eyeing it pretty hard. Moving on.
So naturally, from weapons, we'll go to how the media tells you how you can buy hitmen.
I love this gift. Yeah. So hitmen. Here's how you buy hitmen. I'm going to tell you. Write this down. Everybody got a pen out? I'm going to tell you top to bottom how you hire a hitman on the dark web.
Did it just...
You don't. Period. The end. Every single hitman on the dark web is an agent. Is a federal agent of some form, law enforcement, or a scammer. There are no hitmen out there. Nobody is going to risk everything to off your stupid ex-girlfriend who met her new boyfriend on Facebook and you're mad. Like, no. no, you don't have enough money for them to want to deal with this garbage. There are not hitmen on the dark web. Don't try. Don't bother.
I mean, the most famous case was Dread Pirate Roberts from the Silk Road. Tried to hire a hitman through the dark web to take care of his problem. Hey, guess what? He was a Fed.
Of all people, he should have known. The dude who ran Silk Road thought real hitmen were on the dark web. And he did that. So yeah, I mean, if you do want to hire a hitman, no, please do this. Yeah. Please, so then you're in jail and everything's fine. Go buy your hitman on the dark web. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, typically
100% guaranteed stealth delivery.
That'd be terrifying. Get this box and just,
It just pops out. It's a piano wire. That's awesome.
But yeah, as he was saying earlier,
Hang on, I'm gonna set up an account for
like actual hitmen are going to be dealing with organized crime because they know what to expect. There's a working relationship there. There's a lot less risk to them in terms of the person they're dealing with in the transaction because they're not dealing with a 14-year-old kid who was angry at Xbox Live.
Yeah, they're employed. Real hitmen are already employed. They have an employer. You know, organized crime, then they're somewhere in that tree. They're not hanging out on Craigslist. Being like, man, I hope somebody needs someone killed. I gotta pay this rent. That's not what's going on. Moving on, hackers. Hackers, cyber bullies, online harassers.
Yeah, you can't buy physical hitmen, but you can buy essentially digital hitmen. Like this guy, North.
North. Is North here? North, throw a hand up. Yeah. No? Okay. All right. Cool.
Shout out. He's the guy in the hoodie. There's his picture.
Anyway, who's in a hoodie? I bet we can. That guy. There he is. Hey, North. Thanks.
So, giving an idea. Oh, this guy uses SIGINT too.
I don't know if I can read this. I'll read it to you. Hello, I am North and have been programming and hacking, both, for about 7 years. I am very active in the hacking community, yet none of us know him, and would love to help or partner with you. Help or partner, choice is yours. I offer many different services for extremely low prices. If you want to contact me, email me at north@sigint.org. A lot of hackers and dark web people in general, phishers, scammers.
Yeah, extortionists, DDoS extortionists.
Love SIGINT.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't know why. They're all over the SIGINT. If you see SIGINT like on a website or an email, just run, get out. Yeah, and here's like, what's a third of a Bitcoin now? $100, $200? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these guys' prices are like ridiculous.
Yeah. Like 0.2 to 0.6, depending on the database size. Like database hacking means he gets in and just gives you the dump.
How does he know the database size before he actually? I guess you pay.
You tell him.
After. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't. Maybe you pay after. Website hacking, great. Look at this other grade change. Yes. DDoS. Yes. Doxing. Yes. Like you want your grades changed? Yes, I can do it. Oh, all right. Okay.
Does anybody not know what doxing is?
We talk about that.
Okay. Cool. It's essentially building a dossier on someone that has all their personal information, like their physical addresses, their mother's maiden name, their social security number, all that stuff.
The root word is like documents. Docs.
Yeah.
So you're getting everyone's documents. Yeah. We get into that later.
I mean, so naturally, after the doxing, when you go to the next level, you get to the new SaaS, swatting as a service.
Yeah. And a lot of these have amazing reviews.
Yeah.
Like great seller, delivered as promised, excellent experience.
This seller, I don't know if you could see it. His rating is a 5 out of 5, which for Nucleus Market was like unheard of at the time.
Yeah. 5 out of 5 as some dude who calls in bomb threats and gets the guy on Xbox Live who beat you swatted for not much money.
I mean, and in the US, if you live in an area where the police have been really heavily militarized, which is a lot of areas.
Yeah, the ones where they spent all their money on military equipment
training.
Versus training.
Yeah. It's really a terrifying proposition to have these guys busting into your house at like 3 a.m. and your dog is barking, so your dog gets shot, and they're throwing flashbangs.
Yeah, in your baby's crib. That was the thing.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah. how like tons of people have been like blinded, maimed, and murdered by SWAT teams who had no training with all the equipment that they were using because the military sold them a bunch of M4s for like $20 a piece.
Well, and I mean, the SWAT team on their side, they think they're actually going into a live hostile situation, so they're going to be like on edge.
Yeah, they're terrified.
Yeah.
And so like they bust in and your dog's barking at them as a dog would, shot in the face. Now your dog's dead because you beat some kid on Xbox Live. Thank you, sir. That's horrible. They elbow your window to your baby's room and throw a flashbang grenade in there without checking who's in the room, including for babies.
Oh, that's good.
And I mean, you can Google this information. This was terrible things that have happened in the U.S. And it's because, like I said, these police organizations are buying discount military gear from the government. Cheers, Patrick. Cheers, Patrick. Cheers, Hackfest Canada. Cheers. Oh, that's the Chick Chuck.
That's Chick Chuck.
Chick Chuck. All right,
Oh,
cool.
I thought it was like a cola.
Yeah. No, this is way better. Ooh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Cheers, Chick Chuck. Thanks, man.
Now
the talk is good.
Yeah. So those were like some of the like basic sort of hacking digital, near do well stuff.
Swatting is real. Hitmen, not. Swatting, definitely real.
Yeah. Also, step up from the basic hacking services. There are more sophisticated digital offerings for cybercrime shenanigans. Things like remote access Trojans are really cheap and easily available. Keyloggers, of course, even ones that target mobile devices. And then, these prices typically, you can see they range. And it's typically due to what their capabilities are, how detectable they are, if they've been cracked before and the source is released or not. And yeah, so that's some of these are from like 3 days ago.
Yeah. So what we're looking at here is, so we've got this GovRat is where you get the source code and a code signing cert for it. You're effectively the owner of this previously unknown rat.
Oh, he also offers live support.
And tech support. Legit live tech support. If you're like, this doesn't work, like he'll, and if you find a bug, he'll shoot you an update.
Yeah, he'll remote into your system for you and help you with everything.
No problem. Call you on the phone. And that's about $2,000. But like down here, we've got this droid rat. That's out there. Like every AV out there can find it. It's about $2, but it's out there. And if you're running an old version of Android, which like 40% of the world is.
Well, yeah, because a lot of the manufacturers and like Verizon and stuff just aren't pushing the updates.
There's not OTA updates. There's like some insane amount of people still in like Android 2. This wrecks Android 2. Like this is Android 2 all day, and there's no like AV that runs in Android 2. So this just goes. You're done, and it's $2. You want it? $2. Have at it.
So yeah, go ahead, bank through your phone. So there's also readily available ransomware, banking Trojans like Zeus. They're pricier than the rats and keyloggers, and again, the same pressures on price exist. How if they've been cracked, how detectable they are, things like that. There are definitely some cheap ones, like because Zeus botnet, like the source is out there everywhere, even on the ClearNet.
Yeah,
that's like $3.
Zeus Atmos is really popular. Yeah, you guys should recognize most of these. So where you get them. And I want to like really reinforce the live support aspect.
Oh yeah, the top right one. Read that one.
The Stampado ransomware, cheapest, only $39. Who here does not have $39 for ransomware? Like it's an immediate return on your investment. Like right there, this is better than playing the stock market. Full lifetime license, updated 10th of October, patched out of, like basically he's like regular updates. Like you're getting a full lifetime license, and what that implies is like there's regular updates coming out for this ransomware, and you get them all for that $39. And so like whenever like AV starts detecting it, whenever whatever it exploits in the operating system is patched and he finds a way around it, you get that update. $39.
Yeah, so when the media says like there's all these sophisticated Eastern European organized crime gangs that are doing all this ransomware, nah, it's like some kid.
Yeah, it's some kid who took $40 out of mom's purse.
Of course.
Ben.
Yeah, I mean, no. No NSA. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard recently the Mirai Internet of Things botnet source code was leaked, and it's readily available out there. So you could pay a little more for botnets. I mean, when I say a little more, I mean just a little more. And these have like setup services and support, and they're non-cracked. The source isn't out there. They're not super easily detectable. And they do essentially the same thing that Mirai, who had like the astronomical DDoS against Craig.
But nobody knows about this or how to detect it.
Yeah.
And even setup services, like, you know, at work, when you have ProServe come in, when you buy a new product and ProServe comes in and sets you all up and gives you like a couple days of training on how to use it, they will set up your C2 server. They'll show you how to communicate with the botnet. They make sure it's all working to your satisfaction. $45, $70. What are you paying ProServe for that at work? 15 grand for some garbage IDS that doesn't even do what they claim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, when the media is saying like this is like state actors, this has to be Russia, like again, no, it's some kid who stole money from his parents.
Yeah. Or just mowed enough lawns to get 45 stupid dollars.
Oh, these kids don't mow lawns. They don't go outside.
Yeah, right.
Also, if you need a very specific type of exploit, even 0 days, those are readily available as well. And some of them are like pretty expensive if they're a great exploit that no one else is using, that you're going to use for a campaign or something. They can be a few $1,000s. But you can also get like Internet Explorer exploits for like $20. And a lot of businesses still have to use Internet Explorer because of their in-house intranet or portal or whatever they have, the arcane systems that are still in place.
And even like, so yeah, some of like the more like serious ones are $2 grand, $3 grand, $5 grand. For the return on that investment you can get, if you have this money up front, that's amazingly cheap. That's ridiculous. Because whoever, you know, has these, $2 grand that makes them rich in their country for just the exchange rate on the US dollar. Great way to make money. Also, if you have no morals, I know it's not a big Canadian thing, but
that bottom one,
the silent AV fucker, you can have sex with an antivirus.
I want to see the source for that one.
I'd love to see the source on that. Not safe for work, but I'll bite.
I'm hoping AV is antivirus, but
oh, yeah. Pass.
And there are some other neat ones, like if you don't want to deal with somebody else's computer or a botnet or anything, you could just go straight to where the money is. Point of sale malware and ATM malware. Right there, $10 for ATM malware. And I mean, no ATM's still running Windows XP, right?
$10. $10 for ATM malware. If the ATM's running Windows XP, you think it's running AV? Any kind of endpoint protection? No, it can't. It's XP embedded. It barely has the resources to run that.
Next time you're in an airport, go up to an ATM, look behind it. Like 9 times out of 10, the Ethernet cable is going to be easily played with. The power is going to be easily played with. Some of them, there are even open ports right there on the back of the ATM in the airport.
Yeah, you drop a land turtle on that cable, go home. Worst case scenario, you will be able to brute force the password on that stupid box because it's going to be a word and some numbers.
Or 4 digits.
Yeah, or 4 digits because it's set up by ATM installers. It's not set up by even corporations that have security standards. It's set up by the same guy that put in the soda machine. It's not. It's true.
It's true.
That's what it is. So they're putting 4-digit pins as an administrator password on the Windows XP embedded inside this ATM. You throw on a land turtle, you log in, for $10, you own an ATM.
Oh, so
who here would buy an ATM for $10? You don't have to raise your hand. Thanks, RenderMan.
Yeah, yep.
So, but for more than $10. And then you have to physically go down there on camera and dump the thing.
Another thing to look at there is Triton is a very, very popular ATM for bars and for restaurants and stuff like that. When you go home or after
when you
this,
go to the lobby,
yeah,
but don't go to the
look
lobby.
up Triton administration, and just about all of them still have the default settings, and you just press a bunch of different keys, and look, you're in the admin panel for the ATM. That's cute.
Common one is the three big ones on the left. Clear, enter, something. It's the three big ones. You hit that, and then hit 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're in the password screen.
Yeah, yep. It's always 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the password. The default passwords are all ones, all twos, or all fives, depending on the tier of the account you're trying to log into. Forget that though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, don't actually do that.
Don't do that because you could just buy this. Oh, go back. You can buy this shit for $10.
$10.
But anyway, okay.
Also, if again you're playing Xbox Live and somebody says they did something with your mother, then you can show them who the real boss is by spamming the hell out of them or DDoSing them with the low orbit ion cannon for $3.
Who knows what the Loic is? Throw a hand up.
Yeah. So,
all right. How much does the Loic cost normally? $0. But if you have $3 burning a hole in your pockets.
He actually had a sale, by the way.
It's on sale for $3. I mean, come on, can't beat that. It's 4% off.
Okay.
So yeah, again, like there's scams out there. Like, don't think just because the stuff is listed on there that it's something you can't find anywhere else. Do some
tutorials are available on ClearNet for free.
A lot of DDoS and botnet tutorials that are out there are being sold here for some amounts of money. But some quick Googling finds those PDFs for free. Mm-hmm. Use Google before you use Darkweb.
So going back into the realm of like physical things that you can get, you can even get counterfeit money, like pretty easily.
And not just money.
Yeah, it's not just like actual currency, fiat currency, but you can get things like gold. Counterfeit gold, that is, and then take it to the pawn shop and then have them call the police on you. And currency, and then also you can buy the things that are required for you to make your own fake currency.
Here's the holograms down here.
Yeah, we better pick it up.
Yeah.
Other counterfeit stuff you can get, of course, designer goods, watches, stuff like that. A lot of people buy these counterfeit ones to resell at a high markup to people who don't know that it's counterfeit.
And go back. Notice that they don't say that they're fake.
Yeah.
They're just like, here's the things we're selling, and then right next to them.
Yeah. So anybody play Magic the Gathering?
Oh. Sorry. We're doing something else. Anyway.
Yeah. Anybody play Magic the Gathering? So you can buy Power 9 counterfeits. So that's pretty terrible. Those Power 9 cards are worth thousands of dollars if they're legit. So
$350 for counterfeit. You got a pawn shop that isn't good at spotting counterfeit MTG cards.
And degrees. And the reason why this one, you can get them cheaper, but this one's $380 because they use the exact paper, the exact gold overlay that the university itself would actually use.
Yeah, so you can be a master's of whatever. You're trying to get a job that has a degree requirement, $380, or $80,000 student loan. Like your call.
Yeah.
You end up the same person either way. You know the same amount.
All right, now buying
Hashtag America.
Counterfeit goods. You have these counterfeit goods now, so you need a counterfeit identity. So when we were talking about docs before, these in the marketplace, when they're being sold like this, are called fulls, the full information. So mother's maiden name, social security number, all of that. And then a lot of times when you're verifying yourself along with this identity information, you need to provide things like bank statements, utility bills, and you can also buy people's credit reports really cheap because the credit reporting agencies will just, anybody who throws money at them, they'll give information out.
Explain the utility.
Oh, yeah, the reason why you would need a utility bill is because in a lot of places around the world, the Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering laws for setting up a financial institution-based account require them to prove that this person is who they say they are, and utility bill is one of the things that they usually ask for.
Yeah, like in most states in the U.S., if you want to get a license with with whatever address on it and whatever name, and one of the things they require, or one of the only things they ask for, is a couple of utility bills at that address to show that, yep, you definitely live at that address. So now I can get an ID, with a fake name and a fake address. It's a valid federal ID.
Get an actual ID
for 62 cents times 2. But yeah.
Or you can actually just buy the ID.
Yeah, you can just.
Yeah. So the driver's license that are like super legit aren't too expensive. Also, if you need IDs for a specific company, you can buy that as well. Passports, like physical customized passports, those are going to be the ones that are really going to hit you in the wallet. Those are like 3,000 on average for most countries.
I'm looking at Bitcoin rates right now.
Yeah. I mean, and so fools is the information. And then when you have the physical documents to go with it, what that's typically called in the underground economies is kits, K-I-T-Z. And those can run you, but I mean, these people are really good. They're like super legit. I mean, they're not legit, but
they're legit at what they do.
And you can get different licenses for different states. Social security cards. I mean, here, what is it here? SSI?
You guys know what Social Security
SIN. SIN.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
PSD template. Throw in Photoshop, do whatever.
Yeah, you can become a vendor now.
Yeah, now you can sell fake ones on here because you have the PSD template that looks real as hell. All you need is some good paper, that expensive Kinko's cardstock.
Okay. Also, unless you've been under a rock, you probably noticed the media coverage of like all the major data breaches. So a lot of these, before they become public, end up for sale on underground markets. For example, Yahoo and the microtorrent forum.
The Yahoo breach just happened?
Yeah.
There it is. What's that called?
Was this one the Dark Overlord? I think it was. Yeah, I mean, this is the real deal market that I was talking about before. Breaches show up there all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and all this stuff we're showing you is from one of the marketplaces we showed you 20 slides ago.
Yep.
A lot of it you can find through the Grams search engine. Just fire up Tor, get to work.
You can also buy individual accounts, Uber accounts for free Uber rides. There's also if you like paid porn sites for some reason because you're weird, you can buy that.
Hey. Everyone has their kink.
Well, I guess for the really specific fetishes.
Some people really get off on paying for it.
I guess that would be a kink.
He does. Your hand up.
Like Japan.
No. And we need more people to be open about things like that, and I really respect that. Cheers.
Hey, we're pro-sex here. We're not going to judge. So, to go along with your fake identity, you can also get a fake shell company.
Oh, I love that.
Well, it's a real shell company, but it's not a real company. That's a great gift.
It's such a satisfying
so satisfying.
gift.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go back. So, yeah, you want to watch it a little more?
One more.
So this is a Russian market, and here they've got a bunch of web companies that they've actually hacked, and they're selling you the company itself along with all the information.
This is an entire company. You will get everything you need to prove that you are the sole owner of this corporation.
And when I say hacked, they didn't just hack the company. They hacked into the system where the company is registered to make you then, once you purchase it, the owner of that company in the registration system.
This isn't like you get a bunch of paperwork and then you have to go down to a bunch of places and get a lawyer and write a bunch of letters to say, hey, someone stole my company. No, you're done. They just put your name in the company field.
Actually, you know what? Given this is .ru, I doubt they actually did any hacking. They probably just paid somebody.
Oh, right. They're like, hey, man, Ben Brown needs to own this.
But you can also buy business bank accounts, business PayPal accounts that have been aged, and they're, and the reason why you want to age is so it doesn't flag. Yeah.
But anyway.
So we're gonna go a little dark. How you buy people? Yeah. People.
It's true. It's real. Unlike Hitmen, you can buy people on the dark web. Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. But more ridiculous than that is you don't have to go to the dark web.
Can I read this?
Yeah, you have to read this. You just go to Craigslist or Backpage, and there's human trafficking all over the place.
This is the best Craigslist ad I've ever seen.
She's being so subtle.
So this is someone who this is human trafficking, and this is it's a terrifying fucking thing that's happening. This is a person who's being forced into sex slavery, and this is her pimp posting things on Craigslist. What's hilarious is the lack of subtlety in letting you definitely know that this is an underage girl that you're paying for, and it goes something like, "Need a baby sitter? Baby hyphen sitter? Baby space comma sitter? I'm your girl. I'll love your kids and inspire true passion in them for me. I'll be there for families adjusting to a recent separation, not just for the kids. For you. You're a really nice man. I really think so. And I'll tell your batshit crazy wife I think so too. Interests include older men, which is most anybody, amateur photography, available after school and weekends. This is a child that you're paying for, and this is out there, and this is Craigslist."
Yeah. And on the right hand side, those are like one-time purchases for like services, and you can go back again and again. But the thing that's really, really terrible about this one that Johnny just read is this is essentially a mail order bride. This is for an old man to like buy a young child as his stay-in wife.
Yeah, nanny.
Yeah.
Nanny.
Yeah,
I appreciate that nobody's laughing, because like the grammar is funny, but it's horrifying. That's a real thing that's happening, and it's right there on Craigslist. Yeah, sorry, I'm upset.
You should be. So yeah, things got really heavy there. Sorry guys.
Anyway,
let's lighten the mood by laughing at criminals getting scammed by other criminals.
also, worst friend on earth.
And I like how he's filming it while he's doing it.
Yeah, like notice the guy in white also has a cell phone. Boot. And that cheetah is on a very long leash.
I like
and
how
is cornered and terrified.
He's standing behind the box like that's gonna protect.
Yeah, that box is what was. Yeah, it's a cheetah box. You can buy those in the dark web.
Is there a market for that? I gotta get on that.
Cheetah box? You don't know cheetah box, bro?
Okay, so is the name of the scammer here, and this is a scam complaint. Traman. But FE means finalized early. So what that means is this idiot released the funds from escrow before he actually got his goods. And he's complaining about being scammed for that.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. So this one's great because not only did he pay to buy this through the dark web, but the vendor said he had issues and asked him to meet in person in the same town. He says, "I went to agreed time and place, and he was a no-show."
What a crazy coincidence that the vendor you picked would live in the same town as you. Like, how awesome is that? Wow.
Yeah.
But no.
No.
All right. Ordered a free meth sample, etc.
With $10 shipping.
I won't read the whole thing, but
yeah, I mean that's all we need to say about that.
Yeah.
The motherfucker stole me €800.
Yeah, good.
So this guy goes into the backstory.
What's going on here is he explains that he was attempting to pull a scam on somebody else, and then somebody scammed him twice. And he is twice. The same guy scammed him twice, and he is furious at this guy who scammed him because I'm just trying to scam some guy, and this guy's scamming me. This is super common. Most of the criminals of the dark web are idiots.
Yeah, so, and it's not just like the things that they're selling that should be like a red flag of it might be a scam. The names of the people selling these should be red flags. Making easy money for you. Christ123, why are you invoking the Christian savior in your darknet selling? I don't know.
Yeah, like
fraud resource, discount depot, fast and safe. If you have to say fast and safe in your vendor name,
100% stealth.
Also, does anybody here speak Russian?
Russian?
Yeah,
McBliat. That's pretty much like big bitch. I don't want to buy nothing from big bitch.
And my absolute favorite of all time, Escrow Escobar.
Escrow Escobar.
Like, that guy's
probably gonna run off with your money.
Yeah.
Pro tip. He's telling you right out of the gates.
So it's really not all illegal stuff. Surprisingly, actually, there was a recent study released by the Darkweb data intelligence firm Terbium Labs. They run Matchlight. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that. But they took a sampling of 400, which for the Tor network is a pretty good size sample of dark web sites. They found that 53.4% of all domains were legal content. And 54.5% of all the URLs were pertaining to legal content. So when the media tells you it's all like 90% kiddie porn and guns and drugs, horseshit.
Yeah, where's kiddie porn on here? It's going to fall under like explicit. Yeah. So 3%. Over on this guy, it doesn't even like other illicit activity.
6.8. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 6.8. It's right there. Yeah, like an incredibly tiny amount of it is like revenge porn, kiddie porn, etc. The vast majority of it is just legal stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Facebook has a dark website.
Facebook has a dark website. You can use Facebook on dark web. Use Tor, use Signal, use Tor.
Lawyer
Get on Facebook.
Also, there's a lot of EU businesses that have sites for regular business, like scan and print shops, things like that. Not just the Pirate Party, but other Scandinavian political parties also have their political party sites on the darknet.
But probably because the Pirate Party did it and made such a big deal out of it.
Yeah. A lot of personal blogs, a lot of crazy ranting personal blogs.
A lot of conspiracy theorist blogs.
Yeah. Discussion forums, anything from science and technology to gaming, a lot of gaming ones, cooking, religion. And there was even a special discussion forum on the dark web, specifically for erectile dysfunction.
A whole forum?
Yeah.
And we're talking about that, like how many sections can a forum on ED have? Like
Viagra, not Viagra.
Like drugs and then not drugs. Like, you tell me, buddy.
Other not illegal stuff you can buy.
And these are not code words. These are not innuendos.
Yeah.
This is there were people who posted negative reviews on the pure sand because they received like, 1 pound
it's actually
of pure sand.
Fuck you.
They're like, asshole sent me sand. What a dick. Was supposed to be cocaine. He's like, I told you. Here,
read the description.
Description. Like from the motherfucking beach. I thought there was unadulterated, uncut, completely uncut, pure sand.
Yeah, you didn't step on it. There's no baby powder in that sand.
50 USD, or a brick.
But they only ship to Europe.
But the brick you can only get in Europe because of NAFTA or trade brick. I don't know, but why?
Also Vis.
Also shout out to Vis.
Yeah. So why are people selling this crap? There are a lot of people who are privacy advocates who really, not only privacy advocates, but technology advocates that want to start using these technologies for just everyday basic stuff. And so their way of promoting that or putting into that is by selling stuff like sand and bricks. Finally.
We're almost done.
Yeah, this is like next to last. General dicking around on the dark web. So there's a lot of like free fun stuff you don't actually have to pay for or buy. There's a lot of dumps for like old text files, which that's a lot of fun. PDFs of like military manuals or CIA manuals, things like that. A lot of Freedom of Information Act request dumps where people have just gone and like hit every agency and said, give me this information and that information. Unfortunately, a lot of those, like, it's just pages of black lines. But there's a lot of creepy, like, riddle puzzle sites that people have made where if you solve one part of the puzzle, then you get to the next subdomain and, you know, keep going further.
Yeah, the website itself is a weird puzzle.
Yeah.
Like a creepy CTF.
Yeah. Lots of image boards. Don't go to most of them. Like 8chan. Don't ever go to 8chan.
No. You'll be arrested.
Yeah.
Just visiting the site, you're done. There's porn.
Yeah. There's definitely porn.
There's different porn. There is also other porn. We have found. There's entire Rule 34 sites.
Yeah.
And then the go directly to pound you in the ass federal prison porn. It's definitely out there.
Yeah, that 4.6% of the pie we showed earlier. Yeah.
So, like, if this is your thing, like, if this is what you're looking for, dark web, all day.
Also prison.
Also prison.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm Johnny Christmas. Benjamin Brown. These are the best ways to get a hold of us. I'm kind of nuts on Twitter. I guess he's nuts on Gmail. Whatever. Please tweet at us. I had scheduled these slides to go out at 2:30, so they should be out now on my Twitter account. If you go follow me, you'll see it. And thank you all for coming. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah.